Hi Beauties, Jireh here. Happy Sunday. I just got back from church, guys, and so I said, oh no, I didn't say, but I'm starting a take care series, and it's just like 4 little things: taking care of your health, your body, taking care of your mind, taking care of your spirit. Sorry. And taking care, like your self-care. And the reason I'm doing this because I feel like so many of us go into life looking for other people to take care of us, not really understanding, like what does it mean to take care of somebody. And then, on the other hand, you have people who have been like taking care of people their entire life. So now it's like they don't even want to take care of themselves, or not like they don't want to, but sometimes it's just like, you forget about yourself. And so, I want to bring it back to the fundamentals of like what taking care really means, and how to really take care of yourself. And I think that's my air that just cut on. I think it's important that we have to start with us, because if we're not in a good state, we won't be able to overpour, or what is it like? We won't be able to overflow. Yeah, thank you, Lord. We won't be able to overflow, and we won't be able to fill up everyone else's cup, or the cups that are needed to be filled, because we're also depleted. And I'm tired of seeing a lot of us walking around here drained, and our love cup empty, because we don't know how to take care of ourselves, or we don't even sometimes know how to set those boundaries in not taking care of others. So this is gonna be number one, and I'm starting with the body, because I myself really had to come to a point of taking care of my body, taking care of my health, understanding what I wanted my health to look like, what I wanted my body to look like, just the energy of the day that I wanted to have, and how I wanted to overflow. I came, like, my health history, it's a long rap sheet. Not like, I don't, no sicknesses, okay? Jesus died for that. But, I came from being really small to having gained a lot of weight, to even turning to like sicknesses of like eating disorders, to really being at a point of like, okay, doing a bunch of like fad diets and like skinny teas and like all this stuff. And I really had to come to a point where it's like, okay, I want to look, well, one, I want to be healthy, because I want to be able to live long and prosperous and have an abundant life. I want 7 children. I could just start with one, but I want a big family. And so I was like, my mindset was always like, if I have a lot of children, I want to be able to run around with them and have fun, instead of, give them off to somebody or send them somewhere or try to put them in all these activities to tire them out so I don't need to do anything. I want it to be a very present help in the time of need. I want it to be a very present parent. And so my basis for like starting my own health journey was like, okay, I don't want to be like bloated and have a pot belly one day, and then like the next morning, the only time when I have a flat stomach is in the morning when I don't eat. Like I want to be in control of my fitness, so like I always know the way that I look. I know what foods are good for me. I know what foods are gonna upset my stomach. Like I know what foods will even make me tired, what foods will give me energy. And so that's where my baseline started sorry y'all. That's where my baseline started of like, okay, you need to be very intentional and be proactive about your health. And so I started, just like in my growth journey, I started with like, okay, Jay, where are you currently? Like, what do you weigh? How do you look? How do you eat? And what is your exercise regimen? And then I went to the end of like, what do I want to look like? What do I want to be eating? Like, what do how do I want to work out? And even well, not even really how do I want to work out, because I was willing to do whatever workout was necessary for the look that I wanted. But really, like, what workouts can I do, I would say. And so from there, I was like, okay, what's going to be required for this? You know, like, one thing that I do not advocate for is diets because, excuse me, sorry, is diets because I feel as though, like, you'll go on a diet and you're only eating, like, what, string beans and dirt, and then after your 3 months of string beans and dirt, you go back to eating, you know, that good old chicken and those, you know, pork ribs and all that other stuff, and that weight just comes back like that, like, sometimes in excess. And then people are like, you're so tired from having done the last diet that you're like, oh, okay, I'll get back on it, but then you don't get back on it till like 6 months later, and you're like twice the size. And now it just seems easier to accept where you are and just go about your life than have that, you know, mindset and that discipline and that ambition to get back on it. So I'm a real big believer of like, okay, what is gonna work for you? And what can you maintain? Almost in every area of your life, you guys, it's not about what can you just do, it's about what you can maintain, because everybody can do something great once, you know, but the greats are the ones who are able to maintain it. And that's what we are greats, we are the greats. And so I had to go into like, okay, I actually did the Whole30, and I cut out the Whole30 is literally everything that comes from an animal or comes from the ground with no additives. And you can do like salt and pepper, you could do dash seasonings, but it's like no ketchup, no honey, no mustard. No, you can do mustard, but like no mayonnaise, mayonnaise, stuff like that. And then you do that for 30 days. It's a challenge. And then after 30 days, you start introducing little things. You start introducing your regular eating schedule, little by little. And then you're able to see like, okay, how does bread make me feel? How does milk make me feel? Like I went from drinking milk to now drinking oat milk. I don't really do bread a lot. I still do it because bread is bomb. But I don't do it a lot because it just really sits on like my hips and like my lower tummy, and I like my stomach to be flat, and so I have to really monitor like the bread that I eat. When I got back, or when I stopped the Whole30, I didn't really do a lot of meats, because when I was doing the Whole30, although it's like everything from the ground or an animal, meats just have never really set well with me, or I don't feel like I process them as well. So I was doing like chicken and fish and stuff like that. A lot of condiments. That is that condiments, yes, not the other one, not that one, but like ketchup and stuff like that. I actually realize I don't need those with my meals and stuff like that as much. But starting from scratch is almost what I would say. Like start from scratch, so your body is really eating like Adam and Eve, and then you'll start seeing like how your body has more energy, because you're feeling it with things. It's almost like, well, you're feeling it with good things. Let me first finish my sentence. But it's almost like you're eating for energy instead of just eating for consumption, you know? And so I did the Whole30, and the way that I eat is like something that I maintain within having mastered, you know, my Whole30, and my eating regimen. Then I went to like intermittent fasting. That also was a little challenge in like the first 2 weeks, but now I do it as like a lifestyle. And that's where you eat from, well, you can pick, well, not from, but you eat 8 hours out of the day, and then you fast 16 hours. And half of that 16 hours is when you're sleeping. So, you know, it's a benefit. And then I fast once a week. And the reason I do that is just, it's for my health, but then also for spiritual reasons. Like I always just want to stay sharp and stay prompt. And I want my spirit, I want my flesh to know you're not in control. You know, the spirit's in control. And I'm a big believer of like, if you can control what you eat, you can control almost everything in your life. Because I think food, sex, drugs, those are like the 3 big culprits that people fall to, or that the enemy a lot of times holds on people, and it stops people from getting to where they want to go because of, you know, food, sex, and drugs, or food, sex, and alcohol, or whatever. You know, alcohol is drugs. I mean, like, don't be too literal. Like, you can have a glass of wine, you know, like, come on. But really look at your life, you know, look at where your health is, where you're sitting right now. Do you feel comfortable in your own skin? Go back and watch that video, being comfortable in your own skin. It's of Women of Substance series. But do you feel comfortable in your own skin? Do you feel comfortable when you put on clothes? Are you just accepting where you are right now? Are you just accepting your weight because you don't want to do the work? Or is there a medical reason for the way that you look the way that you look? Is there something that you can do about it? You know, are you willing to do something about it? I don't care, guys, like how much money you have, or how much influence you have, or how many friends you have, or whatever. If your health is not on point, you really have nothing. You know, like, your health really, really does matter. And what is it? First John, or is it 1 John 1 and 3 or 2 John 1 and 2? But it's like, beloved, I pray that above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So I believe it's God's design and God's desire for us to be healthy. And I believe God died for our health, you know? And one, it's believing that you're healthy no matter what. Like, I don't care what the doctor says. Like, you know the doctor who made the doctor. But then also, to being proactive and doing what you can do to align your natural life with what the Lord has already said about you. And so think about that and write out your journey, write out where you are now, write out where you want to be, and write out what you're going to do. You know, what things are you going to give up? What things are you maybe going to implement? Because, you know, intermittent fasting, that is something good to implement, but it is difficult. You know, even fasting once a week, or mindful eating. We don't always need to have 3 huge meals. We're not children anymore. So like, you can have snacks. Like, you can have a healthy breakfast, like eggs and bacon, and then, you know, have like carrots or just raisins or something throughout the day. And then you can go all the way to just like dinner and have a salad and chicken. You're good. You know, you don't need like this big like brunch in the morning, this huge like lunch at noontime, and this like whopping dinner. You don't need all that food. You know, it's better, and it's even wise to give your body time to process what you're putting in, so that you can have more energy. You can be a lot more exuberant and stuff. Y'all, don't come for me in the comments talking about doctor this, doctor that, whatever. I don't care. You know, let's just be like, let's have common sense, okay? And evaluate where you are and be honest with yourself. This is a channel of accountability, you know, and be accountable for your own actions, be accountable for your life, be accountable for where you are, and be accountable for where you want to go. And so I love you guys. Please share this, like, subscribe. And if you guys have any thoughts or any comments or any questions, please put them down below.